Yeah. So my name is Tim Brown. I'm the Director of Business Systems in PLM. I work under the Global Quality and Regulatory Group and make sure that the systems that we put in place are compliant, but then also are engaging with the organization to meet the business systems needs. Quality and compliance for Smiths Medical is really around the heart of what we provide for our customers, making sure that we have products that meet the regulations that their countries are looking for, and also that we make safe and effective products for our customers. A lot of the processes that we had around compliance data were very manual in their processes. We would use spreadsheets, different databases that might have different sets of data in it, and it took a long time to really combine a lot of that data. A couple of things prompted a change for Smiths Medical. One of them being that we started to see really the importance of being able to use data across the organizations, being able to have visibility across departments from R&D, from research, but then also customer service, being able to drive that data and use that data to be able to provide information. Within Smiths Medical, we drive a lot of the information using a functionality similar to a roll-up. So the roll-up of that data really drives back to the finished good. And when there's missing information associated to a finished good or to a component, we're then able to identify whether or not that's an area that we need to go and investigate. A lot of it has to do with the capturing all of the data. So we would actually go out and capture full material disclosures of all of the components and aspects of that material. And capturing that allows us to be flexible with changing regulations. As a new regulation would come out, we'd be able to use that data that we've collected to begin with and use that information to be able to determine whether or not we're compliant. We really integrated the PG&C information into our change process. The information that's being collected is being collected within a specific life cycle of that product. So during the product development phase, we're collecting a lot of that information. And then as the change process goes through to approve an item to a production life cycle, that production triggers an approval for our restricted substance teams. And they would then engage in that change management activity. Yeah. The compliance data that we took really aligned around our bill of material. We have bill of materials for all of our finished goods, and those bill of materials then we're able to say which suppliers and components of those, who are those suppliers of those components. That was able then to reach out to those suppliers, capture that information, and then drive that information into and import that information into our system. A lot of the supplier data, we had started to work with a lot of our suppliers. This is one of the areas that we're continuing to work with our suppliers to capture this information. We're continually growing and developing our suppliers and working with our supply base. That activity is just going to be continuing part of our new product development.
Production.
Lots of training, lots of training. We took a lot of the communication between our development teams and our quality assurance groups. There's a lot of information that is communicated between those two groups, and we use the system and the PLM system to be able to really drive that communication and document that acceptance of the materials. Yeah, the biggest impact for implementing this solution has been around visibility to what our products and information have. We've been able to reduce our operating costs associated with the update of a lot of this information, ensuring that we update the right things first. So really driving that, focusing on the right things at the right time. I think the first advice that I would give is to really ensure that you take a look at three main things: people, the process that you have, and then the technology that you're using. The people being, the people who are engaged in that activity, whether or not it's the suppliers, the engineers, the quality group that's reviewing this activity. Your process, or do you have the right activities in each of those processes? Do you have the right roles associated with those processes? And then the technology. Are you using the technology in a way that you're able to give visibility to that data? Are you using that technology to be able to improve the process, not just incorporate a set of data? Because a database isn't going to just provide something, but actually having visibility through that technology is a key piece.